So here's our main Cushman tree. This tree I planted 21 years ago, and it is full of fruit. Cushman is an old Florida variety, and the tree does get big. The fruit can get quite big also. But this tree had gotten pretty massive, so I thought I would cut it back dramatically. And so I eliminated like half of the canopy of the tree. And basically, these big cuts here. Of course, when these big cuts sprout out, it's an opportunity to add a variety. And I was actually looking for a place, a good vigorous rootstock or topwork area. And so from these sprouts, this was a couple years ago, I grafted sugarloaf because I basically didn't have any place in the grove for a big sugarloaf tree, and I'm hoping that this situation will give us fruit next year. Fingers crossed. Right over here, we have a couple of seedling trees. Of course, these are seedlings of Cushman. So what I will probably do is find a little tree somewhere and take scions from each of these. There's 3 different seedlings, and put those somewhere for, just to see if the fruit that the seedlings produce is noticeably different from the mother tree. The seedlings, of course, I can use to, I'll keep those in the ground because they are really in the ground. These are rather old seedlings, and but I might just add to the sugarloaf collection here and topwork these seedlings with sugarloaf. So here's another tree that I cut back in order to put another variety on it. This is Van Dyke, and in this case I eliminated like 2/3 of the tree or more. Van Dyke had gotten pretty huge, so whenever I cut it back, figure I can do something a little different with it. We have one seedling Van Dyke here, but crazy growth and crazy amount of fruit. Got just a lot of fruit on this branch. We've already picked some, and still there's more. But the reason that I cut it back was to find a home for creme brulee. And so I do have some grafted creme brulee, but basically I have, like this whole branch is, and this is also, but I have some more work to do on grafting creme brulee. But apparently I can have creme brulee and a lot of Van Dyke fruit at the same time. So here's an example of what happens a few years down the road. This tree was originally a Kent tree, and it's still Kent on this side, but on this side it's Pina Colada. Basically, I wanted to put Pina Colada on a big root system, so this whole side of the tree is Pina Colada, and that side is still Kent. Now, I have a lot of Kent trees, so this tree might become Pina Colada exclusively in the future, but for now we've got fruit on both sides.